Hi there, Max Rich here, and in the next few minutes I want to share something with you that will change how you look at music, how you look at guitar, and especially how you look at music theory. What if you could play chords or chord progressions just by hearing them? What if you could play a solo or a lick or a riff just from listening to it and play it right back virtually instantly? I'm sure it wouldn't come as much of a surprise to most of you to know that that ability starts with a foundation in music theory. And it's not something that's going to take you years and years and years to understand, because if you go about learning musical theory through this comprehensive and logical approach, step by step, then it's just a matter of a few small bits of time that you'll have to put in to kind of understand the concepts, and then you're basically dealing with the same difficulty as like second or third grade math. Nothing real complicated. We're not talking about calculus here. It's basically addition and subtraction. But before you learn how to add and subtract, you have to learn what numbers are. You have to learn a few simplistic ideas, and that's what I'm here to show you. I'm here to show you that through a series of patterns and sort of, I guess you could call them formulas of how chords and scales and arpeggios are built, and how they kind of form what we call the musical alphabet, or how they're formed from what we call the musical alphabet, then you're pretty much already halfway there. Then you just have to tie those pieces together, and I'll show you how to do all of that. The benefits of theory are really sort of like, sort of infinite. You can take theory just like you could take math. You can take it and you can stop at second or third grade math, or you could take it all the way up and become a mathematician. And it's the same type of thing with theory. There's sort of never an end to it. You can always find out something new about music, which is for me something awesome, and something that I've spent the last 20 years of my life doing, dedicating myself to the guitar and understanding the guitar. And it all started with really honestly just understanding how a G chord worked, and how you could play a G scale over it, and what a G arpeggio was, and these small simplistic ideas led me to the understanding that I have now. And with this DVD called Fretboard Fundamentals, you're going to learn a whole host of new concepts and new ways to apply those concepts to your everyday playing. From learning the fretboard, let's say you can play some blues stuff, let's say you can play some rock stuff, you're not really sure of why those licks work, but you know that they work. What we're going to start with is learning the fretboard and becoming proficient at knowing all the notes on the fretboard. I mean, there are only 12 notes in music after all, so they're all just repeating themselves all over the neck of the guitar. And so you're going to learn how to kind of analyze and understand the patterns on the fretboard, because it's not like a piano where everything's laid out straight in a line. It's a bit more of a checkerboard. But there's logic to that checkerboard, and that's something I'm going to explain to you. In addition to that, we're also going to talk about intervals and the circle of fifths, or fourths, depending on how you look at it, if you've ever heard of that, and key signatures, and how to play, within the key. And in addition to that, we're also going to cover major and minor scales, chords, arpeggios, how they're built, easy type chord progressions, and how to go from playing just a boring old C chord all the time to kind of spicing up a C major chord with a couple of optional notes. And then also how to play chord scales, which is something that's hugely useful in the improvisational world or songwriting world, or just playing guitar playing. Chord scales are exactly what it sounds like. You're playing chords, but in scale form. So that's a bit farther down the line. We've got to start with learning the fretboard and all the rest first. But there's a lot of material, a huge amount of material that we're going to cover that's going to get you from potentially knowing virtually nothing about theory or how to apply it, and not understanding why what you're playing is sounding good, or why sometimes it sounds bad. Why playing an E minor scale over a C major chord, why does that sometimes work and then other times it's not quite right? There's reason behind all that. And in this DVD, you're going to find out all those reasons and then some. Theory is something you can spend the rest of your life building upon and enhancing your ability on the guitar, not just technically, but mentally and visually. How you relate to the guitar will completely change.